Hello, my love. Welcome to another episode of Blisstopia podcast. I am your host, Mercedes Castellani, and I am so happy to be recording this episode for you and with you today. So, before we dive into this episode, in which I'm going to be sharing all of the details about the rebranding of Blisstopia, I want to share a live update with you, what I've been doing this summer, and basically what is going on in my life right now. So we're in the month of June, and June really is, I would say, my favorite month to travel during the year. So in the Northern Hemisphere, in Europe, in June, we are really at the beginning of summer. And what I love about June is that the temperatures are already very, very nice, especially in the southern part of Europe. But everything is still quite empty. So you don't have, like all of the families and kids and all of that, which, it's nice. And they usually do that in July and August. But if you can actually avoid traveling in July and August, it's like way better. So I just got back from a trip in Menorca with friends, which was really nice. Menorca is in the Balearic Islands, is one of the Spanish islands. And next week, I'm going to Italy for a wedding of a friend from my master's degree. So it's going to be really nice to see all of my, you know, previous classmates in the master's and now friends. So it's really, really nice to travel during the month of June. And now I have lined up a couple of super nice trips for July. We're going to London with all of the ladies who were in the She Thrives retreat in March. We're doing a reunion in London. There's many ladies living in Europe, in London, so it was like the easiest place for all of us to meet. Then right after that, I'm going to Barcelona to visit some friends. And then right after that, we're going to Cannes with Fabrice to visit his family. They have a beautiful house over there. So we're going to be spending 1 month to 10 days with them. So those are my plans up until now for this summer. We still haven't planned like anything for the month of August, but let's see. There's many opportunities, many trips, many things that can happen. So we're still open to some cool ideas for the month of August. So that's pretty much like my summer, what I've been doing up until now, what I plan to do for the next couple of weeks. And now I would love for us to dive into the rebranding. First of all, I need to give you a bit of context. This is what I've been doing for the past 12 years before I became a coach. So I was working in marketing as a marketing director, and I've led many, many rebrandings in my previous life. So if you notice that I get a little bit too enthusiastic about colors and typographies and and things like that, it's because this is what I've been doing for the past 12 years. And it's because I really, really enjoy this side of marketing, this side of branding. I really love art. So for me, this is the space where marketing meets art. And it's all about creativity. You're really trying to put, an idea, in this case, a brand, but you're really trying to bring an idea to life with specific colors and specific shapes and specific typographies. And I really love this part of marketing. So if you notice that I'm like crazy about colors and typographies and things, it's because it used to be my career and I really, really love this. So this is just to say that even when we change, careers and we make like huge shifts from marketing director to spiritual life coach, it's really interesting to see how some of those skills that we have gained in a previous life can always be useful for a second career that you decide to start or a third career that you decide to start. So all of those skills and knowledge and the experience that you have gained, it can be used, but now for a bigger purpose. Because before I was doing this for wine, I was doing this to create new brands in the wine industry. But now I'm doing this to have happier women in the world and to raise the consciousness of the planet. So you can apply the same skills that you have, but the impact and the purpose behind the things that you're doing can be much greater. So that's just to give you like a bit of context. If you notice that I go like really, really geeky on like colors and things, it's because I really, really enjoy it. I really love this part of like creativity and branding and marketing. This is like my favorite part of marketing. So, first of all, why did I decide to do a rebranding on Blisstopia? So, to give you like the history and the context of how things have developed, I started Blisstopia podcast back in 2022. So I started the podcast and it was literally like just me taking messy action. I just wanted to put a podcast out there. I was really passionate. I really had many things to share with the world. So literally the branding of Blisstopia podcast was me creating something on Canva, and it was very, very simple. It was like very hands-on. I'm going to take messy action and I'm going to make this thing happen. Now, fast forward in time, we are in 2024 and things have grown a lot since then. Things have changed and evolved since then. The Blisstopia IP is mine now, so nobody out there can use the word Blisstopia other than me in Europe. So the IP is now mine and the business is growing and the podcast exploded. So I decided that I wanted to have a branding that would be, first of all, professional, because there's a huge difference when you have an actual designer doing things. And I wanted to have a branding that would have much more depth and meaning. And to be honest, I wasn't excited anymore about the branding. And this part, again, for me, it's very important because I know the difference between having a beautiful, powerful brand and having something. So what I wanted to do was to really upgrade the branding of Blisstopia. So I decided to hire a freelancer to work on the design. I had a very clear idea on the branding part, like the messages that I wanted to convey and the kind of territories that I wanted to go. So I had a very clear brief for the freelancer, but I am not a designer. And of course, hiring a designer will give me much, much better results. So I created a beautiful brief and I gave this brief to a designer. And we started working together for a couple of weeks. We had two options. One option that was more in the region of the violet and purple colors with a lot more depth and transformation. And then we had another option, which was more into the beige, cream and black, more into the modern aesthetics that you see nowadays in Instagram. So I really thought about this a lot. I actually opened up a poll on Instagram and I know many of you voted. So thank you so much for voting. And many of you, the majority of you, voted for the violet one. I think I was from a very intuitive place. I was more guided towards the violet option as well, because I feel that it stands out more in the coaching industry. There's not many people out there who are using the violet. And also when I explain the color psychology behind violet, it was just like perfect for Blisstopia. And then I thought I also resonate much more with violet. It's actually my favorite color. And I feel more, in line with violet than with beige and black, which are like really, really used in Instagram nowadays. Pretty much everybody is using those colors. So I decided to go with the violet option. And luckily, you guys also voted for the violet option, and even the universe voted for the violet option, because I was like, please, universe, give me a sign. Shall I go for the violet one or shall I go for the cream one? Next thing, I receive something on my mail, and it was like a common, package that you would receive. But on top of the package, there was like this violet thing that was attached to it, like sort of a violet plastic that was attached to it that made no sense. Like that plastic was not supposed to be there, but it was there. So I was like, okay, so I voted for the violet. The Blisstopia community voted for the violet, and then the universe voted for the violet. So I was like, okay, violet it is then. So if we dive into the violet, and when I say violet, I mean like purple violet, there's like so many shades of purple violet. And this color is like absolutely perfect. I really love color psychology and how different colors will evoke different feelings on us. For example, just to give you like some hints of how this is super interesting. For example, blue color is associated with confidence and power. So that is why, and it really makes people safe. When you feel blue, it makes people feel safe. So that's why the police really uses a lot of blue. That is why many banks use the color blue, because it gives you that sense of confidence and trust, and you feel safe when you see the color blue. It's sort of like a serious color, If you see, for example, the color black, it's a color that will really give this sense of like power and elegance. It can also be a bit complicated because it's also associated to death and stuff like that. But it really gives you that sense of like elegance and luxury. And purple or violet, look into this. It's just beautiful. Like the color psychology of violet is just like perfect for Blisstopia. So purple is the color of spirituality and imagination. Purple inspires us to divulge our innermost thoughts, which enlighten us with wisdom of who we are and encourage spiritual growth. What? Like this was written for Blisstopia. Purple is often associated with luxury, and we do love abundance over here. And its mystery and magic sparks creative fantasies. AKA, Violet invites people to dream, to be creative, to imagine new worlds, and to make their dreams come true. So, Violet symbolizes spirituality, mystery, imagination. It's linked to compassion, to fantasy, to wisdom, to creativity, to emotions, and it makes people feel enlightened, inspired, uplifted, and encouraged. That is absolutely everything I want you guys to feel when you are with me, when you spend time in Blisstopia. I do want you to feel enlightened and inspired and uplifted and encouraged to make your dreams come true. So you see how this color is just like, it has to be this color. It's just way too perfect and powerful to use some other color. This is just like, this is Blisstopia in a color. It's purple, it's violet. So that's why I decided to use this color. And it really is powerful because, it's this message of wisdom. Purple is the color of transformation, transmutation. And this is really what I want to offer in Blisstopia, a place of transformation. So purple is the color, and we're working with different shades of purple. So we go from like a very light lilac lavender color to a more eggplant kind of purple to a very beautiful, luxurious dark purple. So we're working in that region because Different things will give us different feelings. And also we need, for example, different colors for different digital ecosystems. So for example, on Instagram, everything tends to be a little bit more light. So I will be using the lilac for Instagram. And then, for example, on my website, I will be using the dark purple because I want to convey this message of luxury and transformation and a real sense of, sophistication to the whole process. So that's for the color. The second thing that we chose was the typography. So I decided to go, and this was, of course, a recommendation from the designer, but she came up with a beautiful typography that is modern, elegant, very easy to read. It's just like perfect for like how beautiful it is to read, and it's very elegant and modern. So I really enjoy this typography. It's like very easy to spot, elegant, modern. It's just like, why would you choose another typography when you have this one? And then the third thing that we chose is the symbol, the icon of Blisstopia. And I decided to go with an abstract symbol that represents transformation. And you will probably see this all over the place, but I want to explain the logic behind this symbol because it's really beautiful. So this symbol should be read from the lower part to the upper part. In the lower part, which is the smallest part, we have a little bit of sense of restriction, constrictions. There's like limits, and that's also the base. That's where we start. And I like to think that that is how my clients come to me. There's a sense of restriction. There's a sense of limit. They want to make a dream come true. They try everything that is in their power, but for some reason it's not working. So there's a restriction and a limit. Then we go to the middle part of the symbol. And this middle part has many waves. It's like really organic. There's a huge sense of like transformation and expansion. It's like, it's very dynamic, it's moving. And in this middle part is where we have the transmission of codes and wisdom. This is where the magic happens. This is you, my client, inside of a container in Blisstopia, changing, evolving, transforming, expanding, receiving all of this wisdom. And then if we move into the upper part, this is the part of integration. So once you have received all of those codes and wisdom, you can integrate them into your life. The transformation becomes a part of your life. It becomes who you are. And you will notice that the upper part in the symbol is wider than the lower part in the symbol. That means you being wider, stronger, wiser, being able to hold more love, more success, more wisdom, more wealth. So I really love how this symbol is, first of all, abstract. So it does need a bit of explanation, but I really love the fact that it is really dynamic. When you see it, you have the impression that it's moving. There's a sense of movement and change. And to me, it really represents transformation in a beautiful way, because transformation is dynamic by definition. There's waves, there's movement. And also what I like about this symbol is that there are many different layers. And when we are transforming and changing, there are many different layers that we can peel in order to grow. So we can start peeling different layers of ourselves, in our identities, in our beliefs, in our values. We can start transforming all of those layers. So I really love how this symbol represents really beautifully and really elegantly the transformation that Blisstopia provides. So the whole branding is then linked to transformation, making your dreams come true, through deep spiritual transformation. Those dreams can be related to finding your purpose, making bold career moves, finding the love of your life, creating amazing wealth in your life. But there will always be a deep spiritual transformation to catalyze that change. We do need the spiritual component in order to create that deep, long lasting change. So, wow, I hope you really are as in love with the new branding as I am. I am absolute loving the colors, loving the typography, loving the symbol, loving everything that is coming up that you haven't seen yet, but you will very soon see. And I want to celebrate this huge milestone in Blisstopia with you. So I've decided to create a giveaway where 2 lucky winners will get 50 euros, 50 euros on PayPal, Revolut, or any of those like big global transfer platforms. So in order to win, this is what you have to do. First of all, you need to make sure that you follow Mercedes.castellani on Instagram. Second, you want to post a story with anything violet, anything that has this color, and explain why it reminds you of Blisstopia. It can be any shade of violet, purple, any shade from like lilac, lavender, like really light colors to deep purple. Anything in between will be okay. So you post a story with one object or something that you see that is violet, and you explain on that story why it reminds you of Blisstopia. Then you tag me, so Mercedes.castellani, on your story, and you participate for a giveaway of 50 euros. Then you can enter as many images as you want with different explanations. Of course, you need to be creative. You need to use different explanations with different images. But the more stories you upload, the more chances you have of winning the giveaway. So in terms of dates, this is how it's going to work. We are starting today, Friday, 21st of June, 2024. And this, you will be able to upload stories for 1 week until Thursday, 27th June, the whole day, wherever you are in the world. Thursday, 27th included. And I will be announcing the 2 lucky winners on Friday, 28th of June, 2024. So again, you need to follow Mercedes.castellani, post a story with some violet object or something violet that you find, explain why it reminds you of Blisstopia, tag Mercedes.castellani, and you can post as many stories as you want. Now, I really wish all of you the best of luck on the giveaway. This is really the beginning of a beautiful journey together with this new brand identity. So I cannot wait to see all of your stories. I cannot wait, for you to share with me what do you think about the rebranding, if you like it, if you want to change something. Any type of feedback will be absolutely welcome. So again, best of luck to everybody who is participating on the giveaway. And I will see you on the next episode. And in the meantime, in Blisstopia we trust.